So, a few months ago, I went for Stellar Blade's Platinum Trophy, and I'll have to say it was a pretty good experience. But a lot of people started comparing this game to another game called Nier Automata. Not to mention, these two games actually recently collabed with each other, but I wanted to see if the comparisons are accurate. So in today's video, I will be going for Nier Automata's Platinum Trophy. And with a total of 48 trophies, this Platinum shouldn't be too hard to get. So enough being said, let's start with the... We start off the game making our way towards a location where we have to take out our target that is a Goliath class. And as we get help from our squad mates,
Captain, I think...
never mind. Anyways, once we make our way inside of the location, we then get to see 2B for the first time, where I then had to learn the basic game mechanics. And the game immediately wants me to test my skill as it instantly puts me into a boss fight. But it wasn't too difficult as I got some help from another squad mate named 9S, as he was scouting out the area before we even got here. Continuing to make my way through this abandoned factory, while walking across a bridge, I got ambushed by the target that we are looking for. And this starts up another boss fight that I somehow managed to survive wherever the hell this is. But luckily 9S comes in with the assist as he redirects some rockets back towards the Goliath, and he sacrifices himself from us getting hit with a fatal blow. Quickly making our way towards 9S, we can see that yeah, he's cooked. There's no coming back from that. Let's give 9S 5 big booms in the chat.
Boom! 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 Boom!
I then use the flight unit to take out the Goliath, finishing the job. But as soon as we take out one of them, 3 more decided to spawn in. So they both pull out some black boxes to help them get the edge in the fight, right?
Kaboom.
I mean, I guess it did help. Well, luckily she's the android, and all you have to do is just pick up her reboot card and she'll be okay. Does Fortnite even have that anymore? Anyways, I then got my first trophy, Resurrected Body. After that, we then meet back up with 9S, and after getting a bit of a backstory to how all of this is happening, we are then sent on another mission where we have to make our way towards the resistant camp. So once we make it towards the city ruins where the resistant camp is located at, I got the trophy Vestiges of Prosperity after arriving at the city ruins for the first time. Once we make our way towards the resistant camp, we then talk to the leader, and she asks us if we can get rid of some of the dangerous machines that are located at the desert area. And while I was making my way through the desert, I found a dead android's body, and this is 1 out of 100 I will need to collect in order to get the trophy, cherish our resources. Getting back on track with taking out the machines, which wasn't too hard, but one of them managed to escape. But we can't let it escape, so I chased right after it.
Run. Not this way.
How the fuck you get confused? There's only one way to get over here.
Bruh.
Anyways, we then continue following the machine all the way into a pit where we can see a bunch of other machines doing, what the fuck? Why are they all getting freaked? What the hell is going on? What fucking Diddy party is this?
Better hide your baby off.
I then had to fight all the machines after I disrupted their gooning party until the machine starts tweaking and climbing on each other to create wherever the hell this is. Oh, wait a second. Don't tell me that's what I think it is. Yep, it's a vagina. It's a robotic vagina. Like, what's up with some of these Asian studios? Like, why are they always so horny? Oh. Anyways, it then spits out a machine that looks like a human, more like a Ken doll if they try to model it off of Sephiroth. So I then fought it while it was just trying to rock out with his non-existent cock out. But once we defeat it, another one spawns in and they both die. They were the main antagonists, by the way. We quickly make our escape as the place was starting to collapse. And once I make it to safety, I then got the trophy, It's a Healthy Baby Boy, after completing the desert area. And just like the previous trophy, there are multiple other trophies like this, but they all are tied to the story, so I should get them eventually. Moving on, I then went to help out the weapons dealer at the resistance camp, look for some complex gadgets in order to finish up the quest, which will give me a trophy, First Errand, after completing my first quest. Moving on, we were then tasked with another mission to find some missing Yorha units that was last located at the abandoned amusement park. But the amusement park was actually being ran by some friendly machines, which was nice for the change. Making my way through the amusement park where we had to ride on this roller coaster ride, which was pretty cool. And once I finished up with that, I then make my way inside of an opera house where we then had to fight a machine that looks like an opera singer. And I'm not gonna lie, this boss fight was kind of meh. I mean, this boss fight just felt like I was fighting Moon Knight. Random bullshit, go! What the fuck is going on? Anyways, once I defeat her, I then check up on all of the missing Yorha units and I find out that they're all dead.
I'm sorry, 2B.
Their circuits are fried. I think they were only being kept alive by that enemy.
Oh.
I guess the reboot cards expired. Once I made my way outside of the Opera House, I then talked to another friendly machine, and it takes us to a whole village filled with friendly machines. And this gives me the trophy we await your next visit after completing the amusement park ruins. We then get introduced to the leader of the friendly machine village named Pascal, and to show us that he's friendly, he made me go run some errands. I don't know how this makes you friendly, but it does piss me off. But once we finish up with that, I then get a call from Bunker stating that there are some more Goliath class machines coming into the city ruins to attack. So I quickly made my way towards the city ruins. What the heck? 2B and NIS chose to abandon their mission, allowing the machines to wreak destruction upon the city ruins and resistance camp. The extinction of Yorha is surely a matter of time. What the hell just happened? Yeah, so apparently I went the wrong way and accidentally triggered a secret ending. And each ending has a highlighted letter to it. So just like the alphabet, there are 26 endings in total that I'll have to get in order to get the trophy Transcendent Being. Back to find the Goliaths, we then ran across the city to reach some flight units in order to help us take down the Goliath. And once we defeat the Goliaths, we then get some information stating where the aliens are located, as I am then tasked to make my way underground to confront the aliens. Once we make our way inside the base, we then find out that all of the aliens are actually dead. And do you remember those two machines that died earlier? Yeah, they're not actually dead, as they take the new form of Adam and Eve. Anyways, they do a lot of yapping of taking interest in human beings. They're planning on going to the moon where the humans are hidden at to learn more from them, then become better to them just to kill them. And just before we can stop them, they disappeared. And finishing this up gives me the trophy Creation and Insurrection. Moving on, my next mission was to gather more intel on the machines. So after talking to Pascal, I then figured out that there is a forest kingdom that is not connected to the machines network, which keeps all of the machines alive. But just before I did that, I managed to get 2 trophies. I got the first one by just selling a bunch of stuff that was in my inventory in order to acquire 100,000 gears, which will give me the trophy Desire Without Emotion. And I got the second trophy while I was doing a side quest, and I died out of nowhere. Like, I don't even know how I died. I'm so confused. I'm actually so confused. Did I die from like taking damage, or did I die because I was about to kill that one guy? I'm so confused. What just happened? I figured it out. I got shot exactly when I was attacking. Like, how am I supposed to react to that? Once I collected my body for the first time, I then got the trophy, the Circle of Death. Back to the story, I then made my way towards the commercial facility that leads towards the forest, but I then got ambushed by some machines that hit so hard that they managed to crash my game. Bruh. Once I defeat all of them without crashing this time, a weird looking head pops out of one of the machines, and it then ran away from us, but it did make an entrance towards the forest. And while I was getting ambushed, they did start chanting something about a king. So making my way towards the castle, once I get inside, I then start searching for the king, taking out all enemies in my way until I reached the royal chamber. But instead of finding a king, I found a machine baby inside of a cradle. But just before we could react, another android comes down and takes out the baby, which is just fucked up. And we figure out that this android is actually wanted by Yorha, as this is A2, someone who deserted Yorha. So I was then tasked to take her out, but that fight ended quickly because as soon as I got her to low health, she then ran away. See you later. But we will be seeing her again, as she is a very important character. Plus, she's bad as hell. But for now, I got the trophy, the Mechanical Kingdom, after completing the forest zone. Moving on, I then went to talk to the resistance leader again, and she asked if we can guard a carrier ship that is coming with supplies for them. So making my way towards the flooded city to take out a few machines that are in the way, I then got a call from the commander saying that the carrier ship is under attack. So once we get into some flight units that the base sent to us, we then make our way towards the carrier ship to help out. But once we get there, it's already too late, as this big monstrous machine comes out of the water and completely destroys the ship. And now we have to take this thing out by targeting its EMP generators so that we can actually hit it. And while taking out some machines on the side, I then got the trophy Ruler of the Skies after taking out 255 enemies using a flight unit. So once I take out all of the generators, the bunker then shoots a orbital cannon straight at it, but it did fucking nothing. But luckily we got help from reinforcements, and this gives NIS the idea that we should use the mortar cannon to shoot into the machine's mouth. So once we hop on the what the fuck was that move? That shit was freaky. Once we hopped on the cannon, we then sent a barrage of shots at his mouth until it exposed some more EMP generators. But 9S had another plan, as when I took out the last generator, he then shot a missile directly at the machine, which destroyed it, but the machine created a huge EMP wave that knocked out everyone. And right after that, I then got the trophy Ruler of the Deep after completing the flooded city. Once 2B wakes back up, she then notices that 9S is missing, so now we have to go and look for him. So after searching around, I asked this injured soldier if she knew where 9S was, and she gave me the last known location of him. So heading towards that location, I then went down this elevator, and it took me to a place that looked like a copy city. Making my way further down the city, I then found 9S, but he's being held captive by Adam, and so I have to defeat him. But this boss fight made me realize that I probably should have played this game on a harder difficulty, because this was easy as shit. Anyways, I then defeated him and took 9S back to the bunker to get repaired. And right after that, I got the trophy Those Who Love Humans. Moving on, I was then given a mission to analyze the machine's behavior after Adam's death. But just before I do that, I got 2 more trophies. The first one I got was when I went back to the copy city. I went ahead and collected all of the bodies that were left during the boss fight, and there were a lot of bodies. And I mean a lot of bodies. But once I collected enough bodies, I then got the trophy Cherish Our Resources. And while I was running around, I then found that head that ran from us while we was going towards the forest, and opening up its shop for the first time gave me the trophy Come Take a Look. But now that I'm finished with that, I made my way towards the abandoned factory to meet up with Pascal, as the machines there are trying to make a peace treaty with his village. So once we make our way inside, we find out that these machines are cultists. Not sure if that's the best people you want to have a peace treaty with, but okay. But as long as things don't go bad, then I guess it'll be fine. Shit instantly went bad, as the cult leader actually died, and all of the cultists think that it became a god. And now all of the cultists are going crazy, killing each other to become as gods. And so once we make our way out of that room of crazy cultists, we then had to make our escape, and we were able to do so thanks to the assistance of 9S, since he was able to hack in and find a way for us to get out. And once we get out of there, I then got the trophy Iron Soul. After that, we then get a quick flash to see that Eve is angry after finding out his brother's death, and he's planning on killing all of the androids. I then got a quote from the resistance leader saying that they need help at the resistance camp, and once I got there, we can see the machines not only attacking a bunch of people, but eating them alive. How the hell does that work? They don't have mouse. Taking out all of the machines there, I then made my way outside to see Eve waiting for us, as it was now time to fight him. And I have to say, his first few phases weren't really too difficult to handle. And really during this whole entire boss fight, I wasn't really struggling. I really should have switched the difficulty. But I was starting to get careless. Eve sends out a huge EMP wave that completely messes up my systems, to the point where I can't attack, dodge, nor run, and I have to rely on my pod to shoot at him. And this would have been fine, but the only problem was I ran out of healing. And the plug-in chip I had, where I would have got healed over time after not taking damage, wasn't enough, as Eve's damage was just too much. And I couldn't recognize his attack patterns, which got me killed. But this would have been fine, because the plugins I had would have still helped out, and all I would really need to do is just figure out his attack pattern. But here's the problem. I died again, and I forgot to collect my body, as I need to collect my body in order to save my plugins, otherwise they'll be gone forever. Wait, I don't have none of my plugins. And so now I'm at a huge disadvantage. I have no plugins that are good enough for this boss fight, and I have no heals, let alone I still can't understand his attack patterns. So now I was at a point where I would have to reload the save just to get heals, which would have wasted hours, or I would just have to push through it. But I came too far now, and I gotta keep going, because one of these attempts might be my victory.
Alert. FFCS destroyed. Raid.
Oh shit, there's no way. There's no way I actually did it. Oh my god. Kill this fucker. Please. Please kill him. Oh my god. There's no way I just did that. And so I did it. I managed to defeat Eve, even though I had some big disadvantages, saving the day, and we can now live happily ever after. Oh yeah, so while we were fighting Eve, Nias actually hacked, oh my fucking god, Nias actually hacked into Eve so that he can disconnect him from the network to make him weaker, but doing so corrupted Nias's data, and he can't bring that data back to the bunker, and so with no other choices, 2B has to take him out. In the most uncomfortablest way possible, like you couldn't just have stabbed him or something. As soon as 9S dies, a bunch of machine lights starts flashing and one of the machines emerges from the rubble. We then figure out it's 9S as he's actually alive because some of his data was saved inside of the machines. And this finishes up the story, which means we can now roll the credits. Right after the credits, I then got the trophy "One Battle Ends." But we're not done with the story just yet, as it's now time for... Starting off NEB, we see one of the machines trying to wake up his brother, as we start playing as the machine to go fetch some oil for his brother. Okay, I didn't think he was actually gonna fall. Yeah, that's my fault. But once I bring the oil, the camera then pans to 9S as we're now playing the game through his perspective, as my mission was to disable the enemy base's defenses. So making my way down towards the flight unit. Damn it, I did it again. So going the right way this time, I then hop inside of the flight unit and made my way inside of the base. And playing as 9S, I now have the ability to hack into things. And it starts up a minigame where I just have to shoot this gray spear, which completes the game. And this gives me the trophy, "Fighting is Not My Thing," after I played my first hacking minigame. And I'm going to have to hack and destroy a total of 100 machines in order to get this trophy. Anyways, once I finished disabling all of the defenses, I then made my way outside to help out 2B take out the Goliath. And now I get to experience what it's like to get the ever living shit smacked out of me.
9S!
Let's give 9S 5 more big booms in the chat.
Boom! 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 Boom!
But after getting smacked and 2B taking a flight suit, I then had to protect myself against machines using my pod, but there's a little problem. I don't have any healing nor health, and so I died after a machine caught me off guard and shot at me. But when I died, the game never saved as I couldn't save. So now I had to do that whole entire intro again. But not only that, I would have to do that whole section again without any heals. So I'm right back to where I was during the boss fight, where I have to reload a save in order to just get healing. And I don't know why I have footage of this, but I think I was looking for a different game to play because that pissed me off. So this time I made sure to completely max out on all of the healing I possibly could. And after doing that whole entire boss fight again, I ended up right back where I was, just this time I actually survived. And from here on out, the story is pretty much just the same, just adding little details to certain parts of the story here and there, which kind of makes sense since 9S is a scanner. It kind of fits his character on giving more details to stuff. So yeah, just to not repeat myself, I just played through the whole entire game again. But once I finish up, I then got the trophy "A New Battle Begins" after achieving ending B. But the story still continues, as it's now time to move on to... The game starts off with Yorha preparing for an all-out attack on the machines, as 9S takes out all of the air defenses that the machines have, and 2B prepares herself to make her way towards the city. Once we make it to the city, I then help out some of my squad mates take out the machines, but while fighting the machines, they then activated some weird EMP device that completely messed up everyone, including 2B. So switching to 9S, I then took out all of the machines that are affecting the soldiers, but once I take out all of the machines, the soldiers are still affected by the EMP blast. So 9S then hacks into 2B to figure out what's going on. We then figure out that all of the other soldiers are corrupted.
The hell?
As they then start attacking us. But we started to get overwhelmed by all of the soldiers, so 9S uploaded both his and 2B's data to the bunker so that we can use our black boxes to get back there. Once we wake back up in the bunker, we immediately make our way towards the commander, but once we get there, we find out that everyone but the commander was also corrupted. So trying to make our escape by fighting through all of our squad mates and making our way towards the hangar, but once we get there, we then see the commander as she is also corrupted, so we have to make our escape without her as we see the bunker being destroyed. I'm sorry to cut the tension, but why the fuck is bro still trying to give him oil? Like, he's not coming back. Anyways, once we start making our way back towards the city, 2B takes 9S's flight controls and flings him up out of here. As while fighting some more Yorha units, 2B's flight unit got destroyed, and we figure out that 2B is still infected with the virus. So not to spread the virus, we then make our way all across the city to a location where there are no androids. But once we get there, there were some more corrupted soldiers, but just before we get attacked, A2 comes out of nowhere and saves us. We then switch to A2 as we take out the remaining soldiers, but we then see that 2B is now fully corrupted. But she leaves her sword for A2 to take as it stores all of her memories, as she gives her last wish to A2 to take care of the future. We then switch to 9S as he tries to locate where 2B went, but we then see A2 killing 2B. 9S starts crashing out and falls off a bridge. A2 gets a new haircut and looks better every single time I see her. And some weird towers start emerging from the ground, as this truly might be the end to all androids in the human race. And right after that, I got the trophy Final Wish after witnessing 2B's death. We then wake up as 9S as we were saved by these two twin androids. And once 9S recovers, we then make our way outside to investigate this new tower. But when I try to make my way inside, I wasn't able to, as I need to unlock all of the sub towers first before I can unlock the main one. And each sub tower requires a key that is located at 3 different recovery units. And the first recovery unit is inside the forest. And once I made my way inside, I had to fight waves of enemies, unlocking each floor until I make it all the way to the top. And once we make it to the top floor, we can then see the recovery unit begging for help, but 9S hits it with a
Maximum pulse!
We now have our first key, and to celebrate, 9S kills another machine. Hopefully he doesn't start going insane after 2B's death. Moving on, we then wake up as A2, and this gives me the trophy Treacherous Blade after controlling A2 for the first time. And when she fully wakes up, we then see her and 2B's pod start to build a beautiful friendship.
This pod has been tasked with providing firing support for Yorha Unit A2.
I didn't ask for help.
Affirmative. No request was received from Unit A2. Rather, it was the final order from this pod's previous support assignment, Unit 2B.
Well, it's unnecessary.
Yorha Unit A2 lacks the authority to override this order.
Whatever.
Trust me, it gets better from here. We then make our way towards the desert as there is a Goliath class machine there that we need to take out. But while I was fighting it, I just wasn't doing enough damage. Luckily though, I'm playing as A2 as she has the ability to go berserker mode. And her berserker mode makes her do insane amount of damage at the cost of health. But once I got the Goliath to low health, it then hits A2 with an EMP blast that sends us into her mind where it talks about a bunch of lore stuff that I genuinely cannot understand. A2 then passes out from this, so let's check up on 9S and see how he's doing. Yeah, I think he's losing it. Heading towards the flooded city to find the next key. Once I make my way inside of the... I'm not gonna lie, that was a little bit embarrassing. Once I made my way inside the research unit, this is pretty much the same as the other one, just instead of combat, I'm just doing a lot of hacking. I also found some top secret Yorha data that I am too lazy to explain, so just know that basically androids and machines are the same. Anyways, I reached the top floor and hacked inside of the core, where we ended up in 9S's mind as we see 2B's data start to get destroyed by this gray mass of pixels. 9S then goes insane and we get our next key. Once A2 wakes back up, we then make our way towards the resistant chem as she needs a new fuel filter. But we then see Pascal getting attacked by some machines. So after I save him, I then got the option to let Pascal live or to destroy him. Come on, man. I can't destroy Pascal. Why would I do that? He has been real with us since the very beginning. We can't kill Pascal. Yeah, buddy. Look at him go. When the fuck can you do that? I then got the fuel filter from Pascal since the resistant captain didn't have one. I just love how peaceful this village is. Hopefully they won't go corrupt and start eating each other. Well, that didn't last very long. But luckily Pascal was safe along with all of the children machines. So I quickly took out all of the corrupted machines before they could hurt anyone else. I like how they talking while when the machine is just being eaten alive. I then met back up with Pascal at the abandoned factory as he took all the children here for safety. But as soon as we thought we were safe, a whole army of machines started coming towards us. But luckily Pascal comes out of the water with a ginormous Goliath saying, fuck all of that peaceful shit. You're fucking with the kids, now you fucking with me. We then control as Pascal as we quickly make our way back towards the factory to see if all the children is safe. Once we make our way inside, we see that all of the children sadly took their own lives. The children were afraid and they didn't understand what fear really meant. So they did the only thing that they could do to stop the fear. And Pascal couldn't handle it. So as his final request, he asks us to delete all of his memories. He then shuts down, and hopefully the next time we see Pascal, he's doing a little bit better. Anyways, trophy baby, woo! Anyways, that's enough for A2, even though I want more. Okay, I'll stop. Let's see how 9S is doing. We then make our way towards the final resource unit that is located at the amusement park. And going through it was pretty much just the same, but I managed to get a trophy, a scanner's power, after 100 machine life forms were destroyed by hacking. Once I make it to the top floor, we can then see the operator, never mind, she's dead. 9S then falls off the map, and a random machine just spawns in out of nowhere that, wait a minute, why does he look kind of familiar? Oh wow, he actually came back alive. Too bad I erased him from existence. I then got the trophy Justice after stopping all of the resource recovery units. Now that I got all 3 keys, I can go ahead and unlock all of the sub towers, which will unlock the main tower for me to hack into. But the tower's defense was just too strong and I couldn't hack into it. Luckily, the 2 twins that saved us earlier sacrificed themselves for us to get inside of the tower. And that gave me the trophy Crime and Punishment after watching the final moments of the 2 twins. And right after that, A2 then makes her way inside of the tower as they both make their way up the tower to find the truth about Yorha. And once I defeat the final boss, this is where we learn everything. The truth behind Yorha.
This tower is a giant cannon that's aimed at the human server on the moon. If we don't do something, all of humanity's remaining data will be destroyed.
So what? None of it matters. Or didn't you know? We aren't required in this world anymore. Humanity is extinct. That moon server you're so worried about was invented to give us androids something to fight for. And Yorha was created to perpetuate the lie. But in order to make sure no one ever learned the truth, we were designed to be killed. They built a back door in the bunker and programmed it to activate after a certain amount of time. The commander, me, 2B, sacrificial lambs. All of us. Isn't that hilarious? Doesn't it make you laugh?
9S, we...
Shut up! You killed 2B. That's all we need to kill each other.
2B hated to keep killing you. It caused her so much pain. The 9S type is a high-end model. They knew you'd discover the truth eventually. But the model designation 2B was just a cover. The official designation is 2E, number 2 type E. They were a special class of members designed to execute Yorha units. But you knew that, right, 9S?
Shut up! Shut up! What do you know? You don't know anything at all about us!
Proposal. Cease combat. Fighting her at this point would be
Pod
irrational
153. I order you to halt all logical thought and speech. This order shall remain in effect until you confirm the death of either myself or Unit A2.
After that, I then had to choose which ending I wanted. And since I have to do both to get 2 trophies, let's start off with 9S's ending as his is pretty short and simple. They both died. This dude fucking sucks. 2B had to come in and save him, and he still got fucking stabbed.
Take care of 9S. 2B.
My god, this dude fucking sucks. All he good for is hacking. And then everything pretty much just goes to shit. So, boo, stinky ending, boo. And for A2's ending, which is also pretty short, once I defeat 9S in a boss fight, we then have 2B's pod take care of 9S, and A2 sacrifice herself in order to destroy the tower. But we can now finally roll the credits. What the heck is going on? Why are the credits glitching? Accept the pod's request. Sure. Are you kidding me? The story is still going? We're now taking the perspective as the pods as we try to stop the data leakage of all 2B, 9S, and A2's data, but while fighting through the credits, we can hear the pods start to become more sentient.
Pod 042 to Pod 153, we were created to execute the android's Project Yorha plan. We had no capacity for emotion, but when we six were connected and exchanged information, something happened. I cannot deny the feeling of something resembling consciousness and emotion being born.
Unable to reply.
Perhaps we now understand that not everything has to have an answer.
But the longer we keep on fighting, the harder it gets. Ignore me purposely myself because it's my second time doing it. But after a certain amount of deaths, I will then be offered to get help from other players, but sadly at the cost of other players' data getting lost. Yeah, so sorry to everyone that lost their data. But once I finally fight through all of the credits, we then get a cutscene of potentially a brand new world.
Everything that lives is designed to end. They are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. However, life is all about the struggle within this cycle. That is what we believe. Pod 153 to Pod 042. How is it going?
I am embarrassed.
Why is that?
I launched a suicide attack, and yet, here I am, still alive. I must look very silly.
Do not feel bad about it. We are alive, after all, and being alive is pretty much a constant stream of embarrassment.
That concept is a bit too abstract for me to understand at this time. I will save it in my list of things to analyze later.
Question, Pod 042. Did the data salvage restore all of their past memories?
Yes.
And are those recovered parts of the same design as previous ones?
Yes.
Then, won't that simply lead us to the same conclusion as before?
I cannot deny the possibility. However, the possibility of a different future also exists. A future is not given to you. It is something you must take for yourself.
After that, I then got all the trophies for all of the endings. But just before we're finished, Pod 042 had one more thing to say.
Pod 042 to player. You, faithful player of this title, have lost your life multiple times to make it this far.
Random disc, but okay.
You have faced crushing hardship and suffered greatly for it. Do you have any interest in helping the weak?
Yeah, sure.
Selecting this option enables you to save someone somewhere in the world. However, in exchange, you will lose all of your save data.
What?
Do you still wish to rescue someone? A total stranger, in spite of this?
They joking, right? They joking, right? Right? Hell no! What the fuck? Yeah, not a fucking chance, because I got trophies to collect. Which means it's time to move on to... And now look, I have a confession to make. So after you beat ending C and D, you can then talk to this lady with the machine head and ask her for a special request, but not in a weird way. This then opens up a menu where you can buy trophies, and I bought a few of them. Now I'm not 100% sure this is considered cheating, as the developers literally put this in the game for people to use. So to not waste time explaining things, I'm just gonna pop out all of the trophies that I bought. But now let's go ahead and get the rest of the trophies. The first trophy I got was pretty simple. I went ahead and bought a bunch of different chips that I didn't have already, and this got me the trophy chip collector after having 80% plug-in chips collected. I then went to help out Emily find all of the lunar flowers, as these flowers hold some of Emily's memories. And after I finished the quest, I then got the trophy Lunar Tear after visiting the place of memories once. The next trophy I had to do was pretty simple. All I had to do was ride on the back of any animal for 5 kilometers in order to get the trophy Animal Rider. But while I was riding one of the animals, I had to fight a few golden machines that apparently knows airbending. I see why they're golden. These boys do not play around. I then made my way towards the castle where I randomly got the trophy Destruction is my job after unlocking 80% of all unit data, as I was actually there to talk to the forest blacksmith, as he is the only one that can fully upgrade your weapons. And once I upgraded one of my weapons, I then got the trophy Tools of Trade. I got this next trophy while participating in a machine combat arena, and this is basically just battle boss if the machines had a beam with a switch on it. But I then then randomly got the trophy Machines vs. Machines after destroying 50 machines with remote control. And speaking of machines, I then reloaded the chapter with the cultist machines, and luckily I spawned in right next to some friendly machines begging for their life, as this gives me the trophy Wait, Don't Kill Me after destroying 10 friendly machines. I then got this next trophy while I was fishing, as I was going for the trophy around the pond, but this was before I eventually just bought the trophy. Luckily enough, as soon as I was thinking of quitting, I actually managed to find another pod, and this was the last pod I needed, as there are 3 pods in total for me to get the trophy Pod Hunter. And now these next 2 trophies, I'll have to say, are a bit questionable, but hey, don't shoot at the trophy hunter, alright? I'm not the one that put the trophies here. The next trophy required me to look under 2B's skirt in the most creepiest way possible 10 times in order to get the trophy. What are you doing? And now, was this trophy really worth it? Kinda, but hey, to be fair, I did have to do the same thing for Night S, but instead of looking at his underwear 10 times, I had to look at him rock out with his cock out for an hour. Not really, I was actually just playing more Rivals, but still. But after an hour went by, I eventually got the trophy, Not That I Mind. Of course, that would be the trophy name for his freaky ass. And the second to last trophy before the platinum I got was pretty simple. All I had to do was play as A2 and use Berserker mode to kill 50 machines in order to get the trophy, The Power of Hate. And now it's time for the very final trophy before the platinum. And I've been doing this trophy in the background the whole entire time, as there are 60 quests in total, and I have to complete 80% of it to get the final trophy. And I just need to complete one more quest. Alright, here we go. This is the final quest I have to do in order to get the mercenary trophy. And then once I do that, I should get the platinum trophy. Oh god, I gotta walk all the way back over there. Jeez. Alright, just need to speak to her and finish up the quest. We got the trophy, the mercenary. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. The platinum trophy. Final words. And if I were to rank this platinum trophy experience, I would give it a solid 8.5. And I definitely would recommend you getting it. Thank you all for watching, and if you want to see some more content like this, then check out this Stellar Blade video. And if you just want to see me platinum some games, then check out this playlist right here. Thank you again for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.